He gave his daughter to the sage, whose host of virtues was equalled by hers. 23rd. Śatarūpā Maharajni Śatarūpā Maharajni Paribarhan Mahadhanan Paribarhan Mahadanan Dampatyoh Paryadha Pritya Dampatyoh Paryadhat Pritya Bhusha Vasaha Parichadhan Bhusha Vasaha Parichadhan Śatarūpā Maharajni Paribarhan Mahadanan Dampatyoh Paryadhat Pritya Bhusha Vasaha Parichadhan. Parichadhan Śatarūpā Maharajni. Śatarūpā, Empress Śatarūpā, Maharajni, the Empress, Paribarhan, Dowry, Mahadhanan, valuable presents, Dampatyoh, to the bride and bridegroom, Paryadhan, gave, Pritya, out of affection, Bhusha, ornaments, Vasaha, clothes, Parichadhan, articles for household use. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation. Empress Śatarūpā lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes and household articles, in dowry to the bride and bridegroom. Please repeat. Empress Śatarūpā lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes and household articles, in dowry to the bride and bridegroom. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The custom of giving one's daughter in charity with a dowry is still current in India. The gifts are given according to the position of the father of the bride. Paribarhan Mahadhanan means the dowry which must be awarded to the bridegroom at the time of marriage. Here Mahadhanan means greatly valuable gifts befitting the dowry of an empress. The words Bhusha Vasaha Parichadhan also appear here. Bhusha means ornaments, Vasa means clothing, and Parichadhan means various household articles. All things befitting the marriage ceremony of an emperor's daughter were awarded to Kardama Muni, who was until now observing celibacy as a brahmachari. The bride Devahuti was very richly dressed with ornaments and clothing. In this way, Kardama Muni was married with full opulence to a qualified wife and was endowed with the necessary paraphernalia for household life. In the Vedic way of marriage, such a dowry is still given to the bridegroom by the father of the bride. Even in poverty-stricken India, there are marriages where hundreds and thousands of rupees are spent for a dowry. The dowry system is not illegal, as some have tried to prove. The dowry is a gift given to the daughter by the father to show goodwill, and it is compulsory. In rare cases where the father is completely unable to give a dowry, it is enjoined that he must at least give a fruit and a flower. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, God can also be pleased even by a fruit and a flower. When there is financial inability and no question of accumulating a dowry by another means, one can give a fruit and flower for the satisfaction of the bridegroom. Rasanstha Bhaktavedanta Parapoto Madhyanatimirandasya Gyanandana Chalakaya Chakshuran Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in these two verses we see the Swayambhu Manu and his wife Śatarūpā, Maharajni. She is an empress, emperor and empress. They handed over their daughter along with a dowry to the bridegroom, Kardama. So Prabhupada is explaining about this dowry system in this purport. But this system cannot be understood unless we understand that the civilization those days is completely different. The civilization those days is based on one fundamental and foundational principle, and that is they all know that we are not these bodies but we are a spirit soul. A civilization which is based on spirit soul is different from a civilization which is based on this body. When the civilization is based on this body, only exploitation and pride, anger, envy, these are the prominent forces which will be visible in this civilization. So what happened when the civilization has degraded to this, that I am this body and satisfying my body, my senses, is the ultimate purpose of life. If somebody thinks like that, then he will exploit all kinds of systems to enhance his property, to enhance his wealth, to enhance his own enjoyment. And then here comes Shastras recommending dowry. He thinks, wow, this is nice. I can squeeze out as much money as possible during my marriage. And then, so nowadays you see, they demand dowry. The father, depending on his capacity, he has to look for a certain suitable candidate because he has to give dowry. But in this purport, Prabhupada also mentions that in case the father is not able to give dowry, then the bridegroom should be satisfied with a fruit and a flower. Now tell me, who will accept it? Somebody who is excited, wow, dowry system is correct. No. Fruit and flower, you should be satisfied. That nobody will accept. So this is impossible to understand unless one understands that I am not this body. So when Britishers came to India, they thought India is poverty-stricken, not advanced. What is this? They are all living in some small hutments, and then of course here and there some big palaces are there, but most of the people are agriculture based, dependent on nature, and then living in simple houses. What is this culture? Look at us, we have built big skyscrapers. When Prabhupada was approaching Boston on the ship, from a distance he can see huge skyscrapers which are not visible in India those days. Maybe here and there, maybe Mumbai, there will be some big buildings. And then as soon as he saw that big skyscrapers, Prabhupada's response was, "My Lord, how will I convince these people who are in these modes of ignorance and passion?" He saw there is a passion and ignorance in building such big towers. Whereas Satvaguna means he is satisfied with the arrangements made by Krishna. A very simple life. But these things are impossible to understand unless they know that I am not spirits, I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. I have a higher purpose in my life. My purpose is not just simply to satisfy this my body and my ego, but rather I have a higher purpose of satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. When somebody is geared up towards developing his attachment to Krishna, obviously he will not be satisfied or he will not be inclined to develop attachment to any other thing. A pure devotee means he gives his full everything to Krishna's service. His energy, his time, his money, everything he employs in the service of the Lord, and he thinks, I should not waste my time and energy for many material arrangements. Let me keep these arrangements as simple as possible so that I can save some time and energy to advance in Krishna consciousness. See, after all, one has to understand that we all have a limited time and energy. Very limited time, and every day is ticking. So, a pure devotional attitude means on a day-to-day basis how much I can give myself to Krishna, how much service I can do, how much time I can spend in developing my consciousness of the Lord. Prabhupada says, the symptom of a Madhyamadhikari is that he doesn't want to waste even 1 second without serving the Supreme Lord, without trying to understand the Supreme Lord. See, there is a sense of urgency in him that I need to somehow give more and more. This is the devotee's mode. So he thinks that making any arrangements for some comfortable living or some sense enjoyment, he thinks is all waste of time. There is a famous example that once one Narada Muni meets one Mombasa, one Rishi, one sage. That sage has a benediction. What is that benediction? As long as, the whole body will be full of hairs. So the benediction that he got was, he will live for that many kalpas. As the number of hairs are there on his body, That many kalpas he will live. That is his lifespan. Now how many hairs are there? Our whole this and then so many are there. Now that many kalpas he is going to live. Unusually long span of life, right? So Narada Muni comes and asks him. That sage is chanting here and there under the tree and then this and that. So Narada Muni comes and says, why don't you put up a small cottage? You can comfortably. He says, no, I have very little time. I cannot waste for this, putting up this and then maintaining this and then again repairs, all these things. There is a sense of urgency in the devotees who are attracted by Krishna and Krishna's service. That was India. India means the civilization, Indian civilization is fascinated by the Supreme Lord and his pastimes. They were fascinated by his service. That was the civilization. So they used to keep their life very simple. Simple life and high thinking. This is Prabhupada's slogan he gave. Keep the material life, all these arrangements, comforts, everything very simple. And then do a mega thinking about how I can preach, how I can expand, how I can do my service with the proper attitude, proper consciousness. This is an ongoing day-to-day project that we have. We not only have a big project at Narsingi, but we also have an individual project, and that is very simple. Every day I have to grow in my consciousness of Krishna. Krishna is there always. He is there. He is accepting our services via Prabhupada's blessings. And understanding Krishna and Krishna's hand and Krishna's reciprocation, this is Krishna consciousness. On a day-to-day basis, a devotee is excited about this journey, that yes, I need to improve and then I want to become more conscious of the Lord. There are two ways we can do our services. One is, without any consciousness, proper consciousness, and trying to do service. At that time what happens? The service will become a big burden. Everything will become boring. But then that is one type of consciousness. But still, किसी ने बोल रहे हैं करो, so then there will be this thing. That is one level of service. But actually, service has to be done in full Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada always says, devotional service has to be done in full Krishna consciousness. What is this full Krishna consciousness? Let us say we are cleaning this temple. You are cleaning a big hall. Let us say the Prabhu called you and said, Haribol, you clean this. And you see the hall is so big. Oh my God. Mind will say, oh my God, this much big hall, I have to do cleaning. This is an ordinary thinking. But a properly situated devotee, as soon as he sees that he has so much service to do, he will say, I am blessed. Today so much service is there. Krishna's service, so much for me only. Yes. What a blessing. See, there is both are doing services, but one is doing in proper consciousness. His thinking is correct. Accurately is thinking, so much service. He is not worried, so much big hall, how will I be able to do? Nothing. He simply jumps in and start doing. And who knows, Krishna will send. A lot of help will come, or you will get the strength. This is one more important point. Radha Govinda Ki Jai. When we take up Guru's order, to implement that Guru's order, whatever is required, the strength, intelligence and everything automatically comes. It could be cleaning a big hall, or it could be building a big tower. Devotees are not not fearful. They don't fear. This much, how will the money come? How will the construction happen, and this and that? Nobody bother. You see devotees, they're all we're all dancing nicely. Guru Puja, this and that. From morning till night, devotees are dancing, doing their services, happily going on. Then where is the money coming from? We have no worries. Because we know the pure devotee has told us to do. That's all. Whatever they ask us to do, we do. That is called servant. Servant means we have no preferences. We have no comforts. Whatever the master says, do it, do it. That's all. We are happy. Wherever there is a service opportunity, servants are happy because he has an opportunity to serve. He nicely, he applies himself. He will not grudge. He will not think that this is burden. Rather, he thinks, oh, it's a one more opportunity. It is said in Bhagavad Gita, a Kshatriya becomes very happy if he gets fighting opportunities. They are like that. Kshatriya blood is like that. They are very sportive. Anybody calls for fighting? Yes, ready. They will go like that. And similarly, devotee, a pure devotee means he is ready. Any service opportunities, wherever it may be, yes, ready. They are happy. One more, yes, happy. One more, happy. Like that. This is the mood of a devotee. So that was the culture in India, a very simple life centered around God, centered around Krishna, Narayana. So during those days, this property and property divisions, these laws are not very complex. Everything simplified. And families are also very simplified units. In the family, the male member, he earns the livelihood and he gives it to the wife. And wife focuses on the house. She has a much bigger role to play. What is that? First of all, whatever money the husband puts in her hand, the first thing is that she will not complain. He may put 10 rupee, he may put 100 rupee. She will not complain. Within that money, without anybody getting any doubt, within that money only she will manage the entire house. Carefully she will manage this. And not only that, she ensures that the children are trained up. They are taught some culture. She maintains the family traditions. And then the husband, when he comes home, she pleasantly receives him, gives comfort so that he is taken care of. Like that, there is a simplified model of family life, a very ideal model for family life. So nobody is burdened. Wife is happily taking care of the household, and the male member is dealing with the outside world. He has to negotiate, he has to get money, he has to earn his livelihood. There are so many things that he has to do. So this is the kind of system. This is the Vedic system. The idea is that the family can save a lot of time and energy. And by evening, all the works are complete. Husband is also home. And then evening, they go to the temple. They hear some katha like this, Bhagavad Katha, Bhagavad Gita, or Ramayana. Nicely they hear. They participate in the final arati. Say by 8 o'clock, they come back. and then maybe take some milk, sleep. By 9 is too late, but still 9 by 9 they used to sleep. In some of the remote villages, 7:38 they sleep. Asleep. They sleep and early morning they get up. They get proper sleep. And then early morning they get up, and then they don't need big lighting arrangements. Again, simplified. Night time they put some castor oil lamps. That's all. You don't need hydroelectric projects, generate power, distribution lines, this, that, and so many things are not there. They're simple, simplified life. And then he either does some farming or he goes for some work and this and that. The main thing is focus on Krishna. This is called Varnashrama Dharma. India has this Varnashrama Dharma. The society was structured, disciplined, and every category people, they know what they have to do. There are some roles and responsibilities defined, and everybody's roles and responsibilities are simplified. There is no burden on anybody. There are no big mega plants to run, gorgeous factories to run. There is no such anxiety for anybody. Very simple life, centered around the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is Varnashrama. Now how can people understand? So they take whatever is comfortable to them, some dowry system here, this and that, and then they try to exploit people. But actually, here the idea of the dowry is this. So because the properties are, the whole property dealings are simplified. The male member deals with the properties. So the father, if he passes away, the property comes to the son automatically. That's all. Property laws are very simple. But when the daughter is married, father, he used to give a big dowry to the daughter. It's like a property, instead of giving. Now currently property has to be divided between, boys and girls, both the, in the family, whoever is the child of the family, everybody, all the children will get the property. Now currently the things have changed. But during those days, the male member inherits the property, but the father gives a big dowry to the daughter. Sometimes they give dowry even to the bridegroom who is getting married, or he may give it to their kingdom. It all depends on who is getting married to whom. This is the same. For example, here Śatarūpā Maharajni, Empress, she is Empress, Paribarhan, dowry, Mahadhanan. It's a big dowry she has given. And what is this dowry includes? Bhusha, Vasa, Parichadan. Bhusha means it is ornaments. Vasaha, clothes. And Parichadan, articles for household use. All these three are, who will use this dowry? This is meant for Devahuti or Kardamuni. For example, Bhusha, ornaments. Kardamuni is not going to wear all the ornaments. This is meant for Devahuti. Vasaha, clothes, saris and all that, obviously for Devahuti. And then Parichadan, household paraphernalia, big vessels, silver vessels or golden vessels or copper vessels for cooking and many other things. So that means this dowry primarily been given to Devahuti, daughter. Actually, Manu Samhita says this property of the woman is called Stridhana. And this Stridhana cannot be touched by any male member, that is her property. And if she dies, the Stridhana will go to her daughter. So there are like that, there are some property, inheritance laws were there. Everything is based on simplifying the lifestyle, saving time and energy. Nothing called litigation, fighting and this and that. Highly simplified this. Even if at all there is some litigation, the village heads used to be there, and then they used to go. And then both the parties used to go in front of the deity in a small temple. And then say, okay, you tell me the truth. He will tell, because Lord is there. He will also say, yes, over, settle, finish. Now if you put a case, 25 years, that 1 square yard of land belongs to whom, that's a case. And it will be 25 years, he is gone, and his next descendants are fighting. Where is the simplicity of life? You are constantly, next to 25 years, you have to go on thinking how to win this case, how to prove my point. See, life is so complex nowadays. So who will understand this system? It's easy to say, oh no, your literatures are promoting dowry and this, but actually the mood is not that. Here it is mentioned, Empress Śatarūpā lovingly gave most valuable presents. Here the important word is lovingly. But nowadays it is not lovingly. It is a business exchange. You have to negotiate. How much is your son? So much. Oh, I cannot give. Okay, I'll go to some other. This is the current situation. No, it's very... so here, interesting point is the custom of giving one's daughter in charity with a dowry. Now this, one more point. What is this charity? Giving the daughter in charity. Actually, in the Vedic culture, the girl with all the good qualities considered a very invaluable asset. She is so important for family customs and traditions and dharmic life. She is very invaluable. And in some of the customs, the boy has to give a lot of money also to marry a girl. Even now there are some cultures are there where the boy has to give a lot of money to get married. There is one sage in the Bhagavatam, there is an explanation, Ruchika, sage Ruchika. He approaches a king for his daughter, and then he says, no, you get me some 1,000 horses as a dowry. He asks dowry from the boy side. So it's a very subtle and simplified system. So that was the what was I saying? So that's the mood of the dowry. It is not some harsh business deal. It's a loving exchange. For the betterment of the daughter, they used to. It is said that the Lord marries the daughter of King Nagnajit. The Supreme Lord, Krishna, he comes to know that the daughter of King Nagnajit, she is praying to the Lord to marry her. And then, so when he comes to that kingdom, King Nagnajit, he says, I have 7 bulls, very hefty and very ferocious bulls. And I have taken a vow that anybody who defeats these 7 bulls, brings them under his control, only to such a bridegroom I will give my daughter. So then Krishna, of course, he comes, and then he expands himself into 7 forms. And then each form controls one bull, and then easily he brings them under control. It is said that He controls those bulls like a child controls a small wooden doll. Like wooden dolls, how you like that, Krishna controls those. Now, once that is over, when king marries the daughter to him, first of all, he gave them 10,000 cows. In our farm, we have 200, and we are already dancing to maintain them. There are 10,000 cows. And then 3,000 well-dressed young maid servants. 3,000. Ornamented up to their necks, full of ornaments. Then, so Prabhupada is saying this system of dowry is still current in India, especially for Kshatriya princes. Actually, Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, even Vaishyas, they used to have this system. When a Kshatriya prince is married, at least a dozen maid servants of similar age are given along with the bride. So after giving the cows and maid servants, the king enriched the dowry by giving 9,000 elephants. Now you see the next numbers. And then 100 times more chariots than elephants. 100 times. This means that he gave 9 lakh chariots. And then he gave 100 times more horses than chariots. And that is some number, 90 million horses. And then 100 times more men servants than the horses. They runs into crores. We think we have a lot of population today. The world is full of population. Where is this population? Now look at these numbers. Bhagavatam is giving these numbers. Like yesterday Prabhu was mentioning, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, the Vedic conclusions, the Vedic statements, they are self-evident. You don't need any other proof. No, what is the proof that so many elephants and so many horses were given? We don't need any other proof like that. Whatever is mentioned here, that is self-evident. It is a proof by itself. So he gave those. Actually, Prabhupada is saying royal princes maintained such men servants and maid servants with all provisions as if they were their own children or family members. See, this is important. There used to be a loving environment. There is no exploitation and trying to suppress a certain categories of people and take advantage, increase one's own wealth at the expense of others. These are all unknown concepts in Vedic culture. So that's why dowries they used to give very liberally. But in case somebody doesn't have, even if he just offers one fruit and flower, the father-in-law is happy, mother-in-law is happy, and even the bridegroom, the boy is also happy because there is love. With love, they are giving on fruit and flower. So I cannot give. And the boy is saying, no, the very girl itself with so much good qualities, she herself is a big asset, and then he doesn't want anything else. And that's how the marriages used to be. So the key point is one has to develop these good qualities. So that's why from the childhood, the girl used to be trained up in developing good qualities, and the boy also used to be trained up to develop good qualities. Particularly the women were trained up to be chasteful, and then the boy is trained up to be a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then like that, the families used to be centered around God, and then with loving exchanges, the whole kingdom used to be happy and prosperous. So these are the points. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Here we are seeing that Swayambhu Manu, he is giving his daughter in charity. So it's a great thing. But Prabhupada in one context also says that when the bridegroom goes, then mom will be asking, where are you going? Means, I'm going to bring you a maid servant. So
yeah, part of the rituals.
Yeah, so this seems to be a little contradicting, or is it?
There is no contradiction. Generally, the tendency of the boys is that they want to go to Himalaya. They are hesitant to get into these responsibilities. So there is those rituals are also there. But once the marriage is organized like this, there is, you can see here, he straight away hands over. Kardama Muni is not, till then he has practiced austerity and renunciation. He is not, he decided to change into this ashrama, so that's how the marriage was done. In the regular rituals, that has been included just to show them that married life doesn't mean a life of attachment. That also a path to develop more detachment. That's why it's called ashrama. Grihastha ashrama is meant to even more bapre bap. Kafi hai. More detachment. And then by 50 years, the both husband and wife can travel to all the pilgrimages, leaving the family to the grown-up, whatever grown-up people. They do nice pilgrimage. Once in a while they come and go on. And once the man comes to 75, then he leaves the wife under the care of the children and family and all that, and he goes for sannyas. And he travels all over and he preaches the message of Krishna. This was the rule that time. Now it is not possible. Now the thing is, wherever you are, sthane sthita shrutigatam tanavan manobi. Wherever you are, whether this ashrama, that ashrama, hear about Krishna and preach about Krishna. This is Mahaprabhu's concession. If you preach nicely, then you get the results of all this varnashrama, everything. In fact, they all will become manifest once again if you follow Mahaprabhu's. Yeah.
She's trained especially for the household works. So, how in the current situation we train the girl child?
Actually, both the girl and the boy should be first of all trained up in this culture, Bhagavata culture. Because unfortunately, India has forgotten about its culture because of the influence of invading cultures. It has forgotten its own culture. So we have to revive this Bhagavata culture, and Kaumara Acharet Prajno Dharman Bhagavataniha. From the Kaumara Dasa, that means first standard onwards, they should be taught Bhagavad Dharma. They should be taught, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. You have a connection with the Supreme Spirit Soul. Like that, one has to learn this Bhagavad Dharma and intricacies. Why? Because by learning this, the first symptom is that this learning will make a person humble. He develops humility. And when they are humble, their further education can be given. But if somebody is not humble, he feels as if he knows everything, then you cannot teach him anything. So, this Dharma makes a person humble, and then he gradually progresses in this path of education. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa kshantirajyavam, acharyopasanam. Then, so boy and girl should accept one guru, and then by worshipping him, gradually he will develop in his education. Then good qualities will manifest. Through education, no? He will become more refined person. Good qualities will come. Husband will be having good qualities, wife also has good qualities. Now currently what is happening? Husband is a drunkard and a ruffian and gunda, this and that. And he comes and creates a ruckus in the family. And then that poor woman, what she will do? And then she has to have some protection. In some of the places it is very nasty. They are already poverty stricken, and this man spends off all money in drinking. And with that he doesn't stop. He comes back to the house and beats up everybody. First of all, that woman doesn't have any money to maintain the family. Children are there, this is the kind of scenario. Now how can you convert this a ruffian and a drunkard into a person with good quality? Not by law, defining IPC section, blah blah blah, this law, that law, that law. If you drink, this is the punishment. If you do, this is the punishment. You may say 100 things, but still he will not change. He will change only when his heart changes. There has to be a transformation of the heart. And that comes by practicing this Bhagavata Dharma. It's very simple. So, situation is very complex. We cannot apply Varnashrama detailed regulations. Principles we can take. What is that? Simple life. Keep it a simple life. Think about Krishna, and then both husband and wife should keep Krishna as the center and go on hearing. Sthane sita shrutikata. Go on hearing about Krishna. More. If you can do this every evening, every day, you can have some kind of a study in the family, little bit hearing about Krishna before you sleep. Very nice. Some bhajans, kirtans, like that. Then family life, in that the quarrels will come down, egoistic issues will come down. There is a chance that both of them will progress in Krishna consciousness. If they don't progress in Krishna consciousness, they are progressing towards hell. So that is the danger. So one has to be progressing in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada